I am FC Neo Tokyo. That is DPG. And I said it in the beginning. We are without James, so the production quality that you are used to in this podcast will be diminished slightly, but I think we will get through it. DPG, how are you this evening?
Let's see. Mixed bag. This was a very interesting weekend, to say the least.
Very interesting. Interesting, he says. So we're burying the lead. The U.S. men's national team started out like was it the night we recorded or the next night? So the night after we recorded last week's episode, they went ahead and decided to do this really cool thing and to lose to Panama.
Yeah.
So it was 2-1. We lost to Panama 2-1.
No, we lost 1-0.
Oh, you're right. My bad. We lost 1-0. How did you?
It was a breakaway counterattack, like in the 90 of something minute. Like, that's the worst time to concede.
Oh my! Oh yeah. So you are right. I'm sorry. I had the wrong scoreline.
Yeah.
So we concede late, but hold on.
There wasn't no miracle this time.
Well, of course there was no miracle. We provided the miracle by being so badly out of position, right? I mean, it's so. I mean, I guess let's jump right to it. So the game was boring. We were creating nothing. We were knocking it back and forth. And
the few chances we had, they didn't go anywhere. Like Ajiman scored, like he missed one-on-ones with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Ajiman lost, missed one that was pretty doable.
You gotta score those. Yeah, you gotta put those in, man.
It's that old saying. He needed to have done better with that, right? So there was that. And the other discourse coming out of this game is that like Pochettino was like, "Oh, attacking midfielders, nah, dog." So he left Brian Gutierrez on the bench. He left Diego Luna on the bench, and he left. I mean, Gio Reyna, apparently that was a sin, leaving Gio Reyna on the bench.
Why?
Exactly. I'm camp. I'm camp. Gio Reyna's got to show me something again before.
Like unless Gio Reyna is like a regular starter at Dortmund and he's like the assist leader or he's close to being an assist leader, then yeah, I will argue that. But if he's just sitting on the bench at Dortmund, not getting any minutes, and somehow we're expecting him to be a game changer for the U.S. men's national team, I have no idea what people are smoking. The U.S. men's national team shouldn't be a place where you bring players that are not getting minutes in their clubs and hoping that they can get minutes with the U.S. men's national. That's how it shouldn't work that way. You know?
Well, it's slightly weird to me for Pochettino to call the guy in and then not play him, but it seems to me, what is the absolute opposite of impressing? Because Gio Reyna comes into a coach and completely does the opposite of impress them, right? He immediately becomes a problem, apparently, because again, I apologize to interrupt. I've said this before about the World Cup. We whined and cried and said, why isn't he playing? And then he played in that final game and looked like crap.
Well, let's Gio Reyna's is eventually gonna keep playing for his national team. His dad is gonna bitch at Pochettino for it. So, his dad is gonna find dirt on him.
Yeah, I mean, he don't want that smoke from Claudio apparently, but with the Gio Reyna thing, I feel like I don't even expect him to like be a world beater at Dortmund, right? Like, go further down the table in Germany, the championship, the Netherlands, Turkey. I don't care. Go somewhere like that. MLS. Go somewhere and get heavy minutes. Because I don't want to see Gio Reyna again until Gio Reyna is getting...
He has to basically go to a place to reinvent himself.
Yes, please.
This is kind of like... This was, I mean, to a lesser extent, this was like Pulisic at Chelsea. And then when he went to AC Milan, he just like something just clicked and bam, now we have like world class Pulisic in Milan.
Well,
that's why I had to specify Milan.
we saw flashes of world class Pulisic at Chelsea, but like, use Chelsea as an example. There was flashes from KG or Kevin De Bruyne. There was flashes from Mo Salah, but they didn't. It just didn't quite gel yet until those players found where they belonged. And Pulisic seems to have done that. I would have thought it was Lazio, but it's been AC Milan. And so
I see what you did.
but with that said, like he kind of belongs there. And I've been kind of a hater lately, joking that he's the best player on the worst Milan team in decades. But they're not the worst Milan team in decades. No. And on top of that, like, even if they were on the come up, he would be a part of that come up. He wouldn't be replaced. And so everybody's got to find their home. It's the Jordan Morris theorem every time. Player has to be happy.
Jordan Morris didn't leave home. All right.
A player has to be happy, man. Get Gio Reyna where he's somewhere where he's happy.
Imagine in an alternative universe, like Jordan Morris would have gone to Germany, and he would have been our like number 9 right now. Like he would have been
banging in goals forever, right? He would have single-handedly like made Kuvo not happen, right?
Like he would have been like starting lineup Bayern Munich because he, the first team he went to Germany just bought him and said, "Hey, this guy's scoring 20 goals. Let's just get him from Bayern Munich." So,
or he could have done that whole like thing where he just, he flames out. He could have flamed out in Germany and then not gotten a real shot somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a player's got to be happy. Like plenty of national teams, other than the ones who have the big 5 leagues in their country, have guys from everywhere and have guys from their domestic league and all sorts of stuff. It's just about, are you playing well, and are you happy? And Gio Reyna, I don't think, is doing any of that. I don't know. He might be having a good time in his personal life.
You would think he'd be happy at Dortmund, considering that was like the club that he started off with in his youth. He was in a youth team for Dortmund, so you would think that the guy will be, hey, this is my home club, in other words, and I should be like, he should be giving it his all. But I mean, I don't know, like I think that if nothing changes, like we talked about this before, if he can't go to Holland, if he can't go to Belgium, hey, he could go play in Belgium, for all we know. Maybe Belgium might be the thing that he needs, anywhere,
Italy, just play, just get heavy minutes, get knocked around, win some games, score some goals, get punched in the face, do all the things you need to do that go along with playing.
I'd rather see him play in second division Spain,
yes,
or Serie B, instead of coming to the MLS. Like he needs to squeeze out as much as he can from Europe. And if there's nothing else, then I guess MLS should be like the last resort.
I mean, I'm not that hardcore about that. I think you can, we live in a much different world. You could bounce to MLS for a season and then get a big move back out somewhere else. The European teams are going to be more hesitant to take that risk because they'll remember the first stint that you had. Well, I mean, he's got to go somewhere else. Well, because Dortmund's a place where they make a decision on you by 21. Are you a club legend? Are they going to sell you, or are they going to give up on you? And they gave up on Reyna. It's been 2 years. They gave up. Then nobody's coming in with the price tag they want. Just mutually end this horror. Anyway, speaking of horror, the last thing to come out of the Panama game was Matt Turner doesn't know how to play goal. I honestly think Chris Brady would have blocked that. Dude, I was speaking with Connor. Big shout out to Connor Knows Soccer. I was talking to Connor before the show, and I was like, hey, man, I know you're a Schulte guy because you're a Columbus guy, but I believe that Brady over Schulte, Steffen, and Turner at this point, right now, based on how they're playing.
I mean, honestly, we might not get Brady in this World Cup cycle, but we'll definitely might get him in the following World Cup cycle.
I mean, he's a kid still. Despite playing for 10 years in the MLS, he's only 21 years old.
What I'm saying is that if he keeps up, if he keeps making these saves and keeping the fire in the race for the playoffs, or even just keeping the fire alive in games, it's gonna be a matter of time before a European team just grabs him, says, you know what, we need a goalkeeper.
Well,
You know,
you know who needs a club and needs to improve their skills after that?
no,
Matt
don't bring him.
Turner. I say
Oh,
sell Chris Brady, bring in Matt Turner, get that guy playing again. Because Matt Turner is struggling right now. And it's like some of the things we saw coming, right? Some of the things we knew, his distribution isn't the greatest. I mean, he can kick the ball with his feet, but like it's not the
yeah.
greatest. But like, man, that's a howler, right? That's such horrible positioning on that shot. I don't know. What sucks is that like when you're not playing or a lot, and then you do get an opportunity and something like that happens, it just spirals the narrative to like, oh well, he's just playing like garbage. I don't know.
Well, but I think we were never sold on Matt Turner. Like after he had that one good Nations League final a couple of years ago, I haven't really seen him like shine. Like, oh my God, he's keeping the U.S. alive in this game. Um, it's just I think at the moment right now we don't really have any really good goalkeepers. I think we don't have another Casey Keller. We don't have another Brad Friedel. We don't have another Tim Howard. You know, you can even throw in the mix Brad Guzan
I
to
was
a
about
certain
to say,
extent.
can you believe the Brad Guzan era never happened?
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that we're actually in an era where our best player is not the goalkeeper anymore.
I don't know how to sleep at night like that. Anyway, okay, so we'll move on.
Yeah,
We'll move on. I know like everybody's covered
yeah.
that one. We lose 2-1 to Canada in the third place game. Canada gave up what, like a first minute goal to Mexico in their game, and they lost 2-0. Jesse Marsh freaks out in the middle of this game, and then Canada gets the winner. It's just, I don't know. How'd you feel? Fucking Gio Reyna played.
Well, the scoreline reflects how good he did.
I mean, dude, so this game was ugly. I know we scored early, and
Yeah,
that was like cool. I was into that, but we never looked dangerous really. Like we just don't look dangerous, and it's like
yes, you are right. I don't. You know what? I would like to think that hey, maybe Pochettino is just having hiccups because he's still getting to know the players, but you know, it's just the U.S. team didn't look threatening. Didn't look like the U.S. teams of like under our current head coach,
Triple
which you
G.
know, Triple G, and you know, speaking of miracles, you know, yeah. So I don't know. I'll give Pochettino more time, but I think at this point we're too close to doing another coaching change.
Oh my God. I don't think we can do this as a nation. I don't think we can do a coaching change this close. Like, the problem is we
No,
didn't do the coaching change when we needed to do the coaching change. He has no time. Without World Cup qualifiers to grind your team into a diamond, you
yeah.
needed more time. And crashing out of the Copa America with a coach who really didn't have a future was not the way to do it.
I mean, I
Sorry.
wouldn't say he didn't have a future, but
I didn't think he. Well, I mean, his future was in
doesn't.
Chicago.
Yeah. He just had the wrong future at the moment. That's all I'm gonna say.
You
No,
had such an easy break from Bearhalter, and you could have started fresh with someone. And it's just like now, and
I don't
now.
want to say too much because I don't want them to take Berhalter away from us.
Well, you know what's gonna happen now is they're gonna pump Bruce Arena down our throats after
Oh
this
God.
World Cup,
man.
because it'll be like, see, we hired the big name, shit didn't change. It's like, yeah, well, you did it the worst possible way. Anyway,
Do we really want to see some Bruce Arena on the sidelines throwing out hands and stuff like, oh,
Bruce Arena, he needs to retire and just hang out with his family. I almost feel bad. Like, go hang out with your family, dog. What are you doing in San Jose? Anyway, so this brings up two questions. For me, I kind of I'm not a huge fan of this team at the moment, so I didn't necessarily. I kind of enjoyed watching the car crash. I will say that, but I have two takeaways here that I need to talk about. Is Aubameyang a thing? Or Ajimang. I mean, I'm sorry, not Aubameyang, but Ajimang. Is he a thing, or is it just we had so many injuries?
We had so many injuries. Like I said, he missed a sitter. He should have.
It wasn't a sitter. It wasn't
a sitter, but it was like a one-on-one. Like he had the angle. Like,
but he did. Am I crazy? Am I insane? He did score in that final, right, or in the third place game, right?
Scored, but the game, did he score? I don't know. He might have, I think, but he should have scored against Panama.
I mean, I know that. Yeah, he's the one who scored against Canada.
I'm still not sold on him. Like, cool, you can score on the third place games, but you can't score when it really counts.
Dude, he's a child. Like I mean, I will say this:
you don't put a child to do the work of men. All right, you don't put him in a high stakes situation where you need to score goals. You know, if Pochettino wants to experiment, there's different scenarios for that. There's different places.
No, there isn't. There is no other. There's no time. There's nothing else to do.
You could put him on a friendly, or you could have him come off the bench when you're winning.
Nothing. You learn nothing.
Or take him out, or send him out. Put him on a. Take him off the bench when your team's winning. If the USA was winning 2-0 against Panama, 1-0 to Panama, hey, by all means, put Ajiman. Let's see what he does. Not this whole. Hey, we're 0-0. We need goals. Hey, kid, you want to score some goals? There you go.
Send him to the wood chipper, as I say, but don't expect him to come out unscathed. Like I was not. It was not of the level needed, but like I'm not mad about how he played. He may not be the future, like the full-on future, but he might be. You know, I mean. Balogun was playing badly before he got hurt. Like,
look, we're not Brazil. We're not Argentina. We're not, France. We're not England. We don't have kids that could just, plug and play. We don't have that luxury. Those teams do. They could bring some 19-year-old kid that's playing out in West Ham that's scoring goals, and automatically he could score goals for the England national team. You could get a kid that's scoring goals in Corinthians, put him in the Brazilian national team, and he's scoring goals now.
You're not wrong. But listen, this is a kid. He is scoring goals in his domestic league. I'm not upset about it. You give him some minutes. We had no other options. DK just coming back from injury. Haji Wright's injured. Balogun's injured. Josh Sargent, for whatever reason, disappeared. I guess he was injured. I don't know. I don't really follow up on Josh Sargent like that. Hold on. Maybe I should call him. Anyway.
Why? Because
I'm kidding. I digress. No, I'm going to say this. With all the hand-wringing and all the people who are quite upset about this, don't forget that 2 of our best 5 players were out. Our second best player and probably our 4th best player were not playing. Because this team, not only were those some of our 2 top 5 players, but they are so important. Serginho Dest and Jedi Robinson is everything to this team's offense. When we actually score goals, 99 times out of 100, it starts somehow from those 2 guys.
Yeah, imagine you're a striker and you're running at the U.S. defense, and then Serginho Justice pops in front of you. What are you gonna do? It's like, oh my God, he's gonna hit me in the face
in a full Bulls jersey. Anyway. So I really think this team looks infinitely different with Jedi and Serge.
That's not a good thing, though. That's not a good thing because If that's all it takes for this team to collapse,
Is that all
we're
that takes?
not.
Dude, if England lost Kane and say who's like the youngest and best, Foden maybe, I guess, right?
Oh,
If they lost
you
them,
still have
they'd
Bellingham.
struggle.
You still have Bellingham.
Yeah, but Bellingham usually plays alongside. So then who's actually coming in? Declan Rice? You know what I'm saying? Like, which I don't know. I don't know England like that. But to my point is they're going to struggle. You're talking about, in my opinion, I know maybe I'm on the outside with the Serginho Dest, but with the Jedi Robinson is legit a world-class left back at this point. Legit. And
Yeah, he's one of the best defenders. He's probably one of the top defenders in the
in the
Premier
world
League right now.
Yeah, and
All right.
and he is our second best player behind Pulisic. And like to be missing that guy, and then even that guy was hindered with Serge's absence. When they are both on the field, that is the best we ever have looked, like in my entire lifetime.
You know what it is? I think we don't have enough creative midfielders on this team.
Well, I mean, you get Gio Reyna playing, but like Brendan, like
You gotta get like Joe Reyna like when he's hot. Like not right now. Like right now, this is the crummy Gio Reyna that is has bench rust.
well, you know
from
what you do?
Dortmund.
You see, this is how you play for a tournament. You play Gio against Panama when you got to break them down, and then guess what? You throw Brendan Aronson's Energizer Bunny ass at him when you got to destroy people against Canada. You know what I mean? Like seriously.
So basically, Brendan Aronson is the U.S. version of the USMNT version of what's his face, the cat from the fire.
T1000? No.
No, it's what's his face, Tom Barlow.
No, he's not. No, I will
Like,
not.
that
I will
man
not be here.
I will say this. I will say, well, I'll say it for the fire stuff, but I will say this. Tom Barlow has the energy of like three men.
Tom Barlow's actually having a much better season this year. I can't believe I said that out loud. Anyway, we're talking about Tom Barlow.
And he's not even doing anything. He hasn't done anything.
Yes, he has. He's made some good runs. Anyway.
That's exactly.
Anyway, so let's wrap up about the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here? What happens now? Is the Gold Cup important now?
I think it is. I think it is. It has to be now. Like Pochettino got to like start.
So are you team Gold Cup now with me?
So this is gonna be interesting. I got to see the roster first for the Gold Cup. Like if Christian Pulisic is not on that roster, then I don't. That means that Pochettino is not taking the tournament serious.
I mean, maybe, but also, he's got to see everybody, dude. He doesn't see he hasn't been in the job long enough. He hasn't seen everybody. This sucks. Without qualifying, without getting because even think about this. During qualifying, you get so many camps that even if a cat comes in and he's third on the depth chart in center defensive mid, that kid, most likely, is getting the experience, is getting the reps, is oh, well, he wasn't in my game plan at all this time, but he actually showed in practice. Let's actually put him in the game plan for next window. Things like that. It's just, he's missing out on all, we're missing, this sucks. Hosting the World Cup sucks.
Yeah, it does. Because there's a lot of expectations on this. There's a lot of stuff on the table here.
I frankly, you get Serge and Jedi back, and I think we'll be fine. We will look a much better team, and Pochettino may have a better chance of implementing ideas. That's my thought. What do you think? What's your final thought on the U.S. team?
It's a team in rebuild, still stuck on rebuild. I don't know. I think to me, these 4 years between when after the World Cup and up until next next year's World Cup, it seems off because there's no high stakes involved. There's no qualifiers. There's nothing besides Nation Leagues and Gold Cup.
Well,
and I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing important. It's scary.
Like I honestly cannot wait for like 2032. Like I cannot wait for this whole region to get competitive again. Um,
Mm. I
because
I love to see a good CONCACAF, brother. I love to see TNT do better.
I won't be surprised with the rate we're going. You know, we might get to see Chris Brady on that U.S. men's national team for 2032.
Right now, I want to see him now. I want to see him now.
I don't think Pochettino's going to start him though. I don't think he's going to start him. I think he's going to go with his gut. He's going to go with Schulte, or he's going to go with or with what's his face,
Turner. Well, we shall see. And everyone, so we didn't get the canal, and apparently now we're the 11th province of Canada. So
there you go.
Because we lost both games. Anyway, let's talk about something scary after this break. We won't even tell you what it is. Boo.